We're outside on the curb like some motherfucking dogs, y'all. Hey you guys, it's your girl Simone and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see by the title, today is getting a little bit juicy. So today we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do a story time about my first time, about the time I lost my VCard. Okay, this story is so freaking embarrassing, y'all. Do not judge me. But before we go ahead and get into this story, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all subscribe to your girl channel and give your girl a thumbs up. Whew, y'all, let's get into it. So this story takes place back when I was about 16 years old. I was in the 11th grade, and at this time I was living in Rialto. Okay, so I'm from LA, whatever, but at this time I had moved to Rialto with my mom. And yeah, so on the weekends I would go to LA to my grandma's house to, you know, kick it with my friends. I had my little boo out there, my boyfriend, you know, so I kick it with my friends, go see my mans, you know, party, you know, all that other stuff, right? So this particular weekend it was a party, and you know how they used to have like the teen clubs and stuff like that. Like, so okay, so this weekend they had, just so happened they rented out this spot right around the corner from my grandma's house. So I'm like, okay, you know, right? So I'm like, oh, I gotta go, it's right around the corner. Like, I could be out to Lord knows when and just walk right home. Sorry y'all. So this weekend I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going. So I told my mom, like, can I go to LA for the weekend? She's like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna go to a party. She like, fine, right? So at this time, usually I would go to the parties with my best friend. Like, she'll sneak out the house or lie to her mom about something and we'll go to the parties. But this time she had a boyfriend, so she was with her boyfriend, and he was a little older than all of us, so she would be at his house or whatever. So I'm like, dang, only person I had to go to the party with this time was my boyfriend, right? He doesn't need no name because it's just about me and him, so ain't no confusion in this story. So yeah, so only person I had to go to the party with was him, which was okay because we always go to parties together. We'll always party together. It would be either like me, my best friend, and then him, and like my other friends, like my god sister, or like my homegirls, like, or you know, some of his friends. It really didn't matter, but a lot of times he was in the mix with us, so it really didn't matter. We always party together. So he didn't live too far from my grandma's house either, so he was walking distance. So this time I'm like, okay, it's just me and you going. He like, okay, cool. So yeah, so this time I'm like, yeah, it's just gonna be me and you at the party, whatever, boom. So he like, okay, well, my homie is coming, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, so his homie is cool, you know, I know him, I knew his homie before I knew him. Like, it's just crazy, but he knew his homies. Okay, anyway, so it was just a lot of mutual friends or whatever. So anyway, so we went, it was me, him, and his homeboy, and we went to the party. So they walked to my house, to my grandma's house, to come pick me up. And they had a bottle, y'all. I don't know how, it's crazy because when I was in high school, we used to get drunk a lot, and I'm not quite sure who was buying this alcohol for us. I know sometimes, like, it really depends, but for some reason we stayed with the drink. So yeah, so he hit me up. So him and his friend came to pick me up or whatever, walked to pick me up, walk. And they had a bottle of Taka vodka, y'all. I know, disgusting. The real throat, stomach burner, the real, ugh. Yeah, but anyway, we was young, so we was off that Taka. So they had a bottle of Taka vodka, and I think he had a Four Loko. Yeah, he had a Four Loko too, so we was lit. So the whole time we walked to the party, which was just up the street around the corner, we're getting drunk, we're drinking. When we get to the party, my other friend that used to live on my street, she was there with some of her friends. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, anytime I went to the party with my boyfriend, it was weird. Like, even if he come with just me and my friends and he by himself, he'll always see people he knows. So we'll always go our separate ways. But it's like, we know we're here together. We'll check in every now and again, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be with my homegirl. So me and my homegirl, we dancing, we turning up, whatever, like that. And another thing too, like, me and my boyfriend, we go to parties together. Like, we didn't care if we danced with other people because it was just like, it's a party, you know, so it was just whatever. So y'all, mind you, I'm drunk, I'm off that Four Loko. Y'all know what that Four Loko do. Y'all say Casamigos, but shit, y'all know how Four Locos used to do back in the day. So I'm drunk, I'm off that Taka, I'm off that Loco. Shit's crazy. So I look over at the other side of the room and I see my man's dancing with some girl. I'm not tripping off that. We make eye contact, and we made eye contact, we knew what time it was, right? So y'all, so I go over there, he like push Shawty to the side, like, Move. Okay, just so y'all don't be confused, after he pushed Shotty to the side, I went over there and we started making out in the back of the club. So anyway, I get a tap on my it was so embarrassing because how we was going at it. So I get a tap on my shoulder. Y'all, why is my friend that I went to school with in middle school and I ain't seen her in years, she tapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, small girl, like before I wanted to leave, I just want to say hi. I've been seeing you for the longest, just tongue up with your boyfriend. And I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing. And I'm just like, hey, how you doing, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, leave, where you going? She's like, the party's over. I'm like, huh? We was tongue kissing for I was finna say 12 hours. I'm tripping. We was going at it for a whole hour nonstop, y'all. A whole hour nonstop. I didn't even realize it. So I'm just like, got caught in my mouth at this time. Like, we need some water. So I ended up getting some water or whatever, and we was leaving out, right? So his homeboy, he was just like, bro, like, I'm finna kick it with this girl. He ended up seeing this girl that he knew. His homeboy seen this girl that he knew or whatever, and he was like, he finna kick it with her. He's like, so where y'all finna be at? So right around the corner from the party, not like, cause I lived around like some corners, but literally right around on the next street, it was the homie house. So I'm like, we just finna go chill in front of his house or whatever. So he was like, okay. So he was like, but if you don't see us there, then I'm at Simone's house. So either or. So he like, okay. So we went right to the next street to in front of the homie house or whatever. So but not literally in front of his house. We was sitting right across the street from his house, and behind this white truck was sitting on a curve or whatever. So we was just talking or whatever, like talking. But before we went right there, his homie still had some more of the Taka vodka left. So we drunk the rest of that, right? So we talking, alcohol is getting to us. It's like, oh, we faded, y'all. So we just started making out again, like on this curve, right? Me being me, and I should have just been chilling, but you know what I went ahead and did with my stupid ass? I sat on top of him, whatever. Like, this is him, and I sat like this. Y'all get it? This him, I sat like this. Okay, on the curve. So I sat on him, and we just making out like So next thing you know, let me tell y'all what I had on that day. So I had made sure I looked cute, y'all. So I had my mom straighten my hair. So I had flat my hair out because I was wearing my real hair at that time, and I had it bleached. I used to bleach the front of my hair or whatever. So it was bleached cute, like a cute honey blonde. And I had these loose like floral shorts on, and at the bottom they was like loose, not tight fitting, whatever. And I had this like white shirt on, whatever. That doesn't matter, but the shorts matter, y'all. So I sat on top of him, whatever, and he started like putting his hands inside of my shorts because, mind you, they're loose at the bottom, so you don't really got to do much to go up in there. So, and I didn't wear those on purpose. They was just cute and easy to twerk in. So yeah, so he started doing that, and mind you, this was his first time ever doing that to me. So like hand movements, like y'all know it. So anyway, so I was just like, oh my God, okay. So the next thing you know, I'm noticing he was kissing and he's like undoing his pants. And a lot of times I did used to leave him with the blue balls, y'all, with blue balls. I used to leave him like that a lot. But this time I'm just like drunk, and I'm like, oh my God, we're both drunk. And then just us here, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So, right, so what happened? So yeah, so we, he did that, and he like pulled it out, and he was like trying to put it in. And I was just like, hold on, like, what are you doing? And he was just like, it's okay, right? It's okay, like, you ready? You love me? You know how boys try to manipulate you love me? So I'm just like, yeah, I love you. He's like, it's okay. So I was like, my mind, like, I'm drunk, but I'm trying to remember what was I taught. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, you got a condom? And he was just like, no. And he was just still going, like, about to, and he's like, it's okay, I'm gonna pull out, it's okay. You don't listen to boys when they say that, because they, 9 times out of 10, sometimes they do. It doesn't matter, but just no, always make sure you use protection, y'all. So anyway, so I'm just like, okay, because I'm just dumb and in love with this boy, whatever. So mind y'all, where I'm sitting on top of him. So this is my first time. We're outside on the curb like some motherfucking dogs, y'all. Like some motherfucking dogs. So I'm just like, oh my God. So he put it in, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, it hurted so fucking bad. Mind you, this is my first time, and I'm on top. So he's just like, bounce on it. And I'm like, bounce on it? Again, my first time, and I'm on top. He was already like experienced and shit, so this wasn't his first rodeo. So I'm just like, huh? And it hurted so bad. I was just like, oh. He's like, it's okay, it gets better. It didn't get better, y'all. And he's like trying to help me bounce on it, whatever. And this was just horrible. It was fucking horrible. It hurted so bad. He wanted to make out still till, but I like turned my head so I could like cry on the low. He didn't notice, but I think he noticed. But anyway, so mind you, we like mid 2-3 bounces in, right? 3 slow bounces in because it hurted. His friends started walking up drunk as hell with 2 girls. Like, hey, what y'all doing? They like, hey, what y'all doing? And we just like, nothing. He like, nothing. I'm just like, over here like crying on the low. So he like, bro, he like, yeah, we just want to check on you. He's like, okay, well, can you go? Like, can you go? Like, and he's like, give me like a few minutes, like, go. And he like, oh, I see what's going on. Oh, okay. And I'm just more embarrassed now because the girl's like, and I'm just like, you know, it was just horrible. They didn't hear me crying though, y'all. So they ended up leaving or whatever. And when they left, it was like one more struggle bounce. And then he was like, got me off of him. Not in a like a disrespectful way or anything like that, but just was like, so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's the pull out time. So I'm happy at this point, like, oh my God, yes, because it hurt so bad. And then, y'all, so after that, he was just like, are you ready to go home? And I'm just like, to myself, I'm thinking like, is he being rude? Like, is he being mean? Is he mad? So I'm just thinking like, that was pretty fast, but I guess I don't know how this goes. So he just like, you ready to go home? And I'm just like, yeah. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna walk you home. I'm like, don't you want to go tell him first? He's like, nah, it's cool, I'm gonna walk you home. So when we get to my house or whatever, he just give me a pet kiss, like, you know, when you get to it so fast that you kind of go right here and not even on lips. And at this point, I'm just thinking like, was I that bad? Like, this man is acting different. Not man, because, you know, his boy, he was my age. So I'm just like, he acted different. Damn, it must have been really bad. So and we was together for like a long time too, for like few years at this point, probably like 2 years. Anyway, so he I'm just like, okay. So I go in the house. He's like, I'm gonna call you when I get home. I'm like, all right. So mind you, I was really expecting him to call me when he got home because we lived in not too nice areas, and he really didn't live in a nice area. He lived in the hood. So when I got in the house, y'all, I went to the bathroom and I just was crying. I went in there and I was like bleeding a little bit, and I was just like, oh my God, I was crying. So I took me some Tylenol. I tried to stay up for him to call me. It was like longer than usual. I ended up going to sleep, and he ended up hitting me the next morning, was just telling me, oh, I love you. It wasn't like that. I just was feeling really sick because of the alcohol. Like, if I came off any type of way, it wasn't like that. Like, I really love you and blah 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 blah, trying to reassure me. Boom. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a little twist at the end too, so pay attention. So that's how that happened, y'all. And it's crazy because y'all seen the title I said and how I told my mom. So I get that same day my mom was picking me up, I'm on the texting everybody, amen, y'all, I'm on AIM, y'all telling my friends what happened, whatever. And they like, oh my God. So my one friend, I'm telling her, like 2 friends, I'm telling them, like, because me and my mom was super close, we was best friends. So I'm telling them, like, I gotta tell my mom. They like, bitch, are you dumb? And I'm just like, I gotta tell her. She don't like to be the last to know anything, and I have to let her know. Sorry. They like, girl, are you fucking stupid? That's the dumbest thing you could do, right? We get home. I get home and I didn't know how to tell her. Like, I was being awkward. And this day, my mom's car was messed up, so she had to use my stepdad's car, but she dropped him off at work, so we was gonna go pick him up. And I knew, I did it. I played it so cool. I knew if we was in the car with him, she was not gonna do the most because he was gonna make it World War II if he knew what I told her. So I didn't even say nothing the whole car right there. She's like, why are you being weird? When he got in the car, I got in the back seat, and I got in the back seat and I texted her. I said, Mom, me and so-and-so, you know, did it. And she looked at that phone. She's like, why are you texting? Looked at me with the saddest look, and I turned my head like this, and I started crying, not loud though. And it was just awkward. Like, it was horrible. It was awkward. When we got home, I went straight to my room. I didn't talk to her for 2 days, y'all. 2 days. On the second day, I finally went up to her crying. I was like, do you hate me? And she was like, why would I hate you? And I'm like, because you haven't talked to me. And she just like, girl, you haven't talked to me. And I'm just like, what? She was like, you was being all weird and stuff, so I was just letting you go through whatever you was going through. She was like, but I most definitely was gonna talk to you. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. And I was just like, oh. And she was just like, use protection, right? And I'm just like, yeah. But anyway, so that's how I told her, y'all. And I was really sick and sad, depressed, sad, because I'm thinking my mom hates me. And yeah, but y'all, guess who didn't get to go to LA on the weekends no more for a long time? Me, this dummy, because I told her. And yeah, she was not having that. I was still able to party where I live, but she knew my boyfriend was in LA, so I wasn't able to go to LA. But let me tell y'all that little twist real quick before we wrap this story up. So remember the homie was with 2 girls, right? Remember the homie was with 2 girls? Why my mans went back to the homeboy and they played switcheroo with those 2 girls and he cheated on me that night? Well, not 1, but 2. But with 2 girls, y'all. 2. And only how I found out is because the girl ended up hitting me up. The girlfriend ended up hitting me up on Facebook, something like that. And she was just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Mind you, this nigga did me wrong, y'all. So anyway, and she told me, was just like, oh, last night, this happened, this happened. So I'm like, bitch, what? So I hit the homegirl up like, bitch, you're weird as fuck. You see me with that nigga and you da 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 da. And she was like, oh, she told you that? Cause this crazy, cause we both did it. And I was just like, 2? Like, dang, I know it was like my first time and I wasn't really the best performer, but damn, you didn't have to go to 2. And them girls spent the night at his house too, so that's why he ain't never called me when he got home. Y'all, sick, right? Anyways, so that's the story about the time I lost my virginity and how I told my mom and how I got cheated on all in the same night. Y'all, y'all, it's like you didn't just do, and I wonder if you used protection with them. I didn't even ask that question. But anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give your girl a thumbs up, y'all, and I'll be back at y'all with some more videos, so stay tuned.